time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome inside Golden One Center. Game night is on the air here, right on Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Will take you until 6:30 tonight. Kings and Nets. The lone appearance for Brooklyn in the building this year. And for the Nets, this is a good basketball team right now. They've won 6 of their last 7. They're on the first game of a 5-game road trip, and they're looking to continue their winning ways here. They're 12-9 overall. The Kings come in at 12-8 as they got that big win in Phoenix on Friday night, defeating the Suns after a lackluster first half. It was a much better second half for the Kings in getting that 114-106 win. High flyer. It just matters how you finish sometimes. The Kings certainly finished strong in that game, and that third quarter in particular, I don't know what was said at halftime, but the Kings outscored the Suns after trailing at half. It was a 33-12 third quarter for Sacramento.
You know what, Scooter, at the end of the day, it's all about the W. You know, sometimes you go out, you don't play the best basketball in the first half, and you go in at halftime and you make some changes. You know, you make tweaks. And when you come back out, you see what went well, what went wrong, and you ride with your strong points.
Yeah, and if you're going to ride with your strong points, obviously it's going to start and finish with De'Aaron Fox, and he was great again in Phoenix. That fourth quarter was another Fox masterpiece.
Fourth quarter Fox, once again, shows up and shows out, and, you know, and the Kings need that. They really do. You know, I hope that they don't start relying on that because it puts a lot of pressure on Fox, but to be able to have a guy at your disposal who, whenever you need a bucket, can go get it at will, that's a good thing to have.
No question. He finished with 35. He had 24 of those in the fourth quarter. I know there was a little, I won't say skirmish, that's a little bit too much, but he got into it a little bit with Nurkic, and it seemed like that really fired him up. It's not like Fox needs much to fire him up.
No, but you know what gets under his skin more than anything else is when he don't get a couple of calls. And when he don't get those calls, he's like, okay, I'm going to show you. And when he flips that switch,
yeah, watch out.
He's a different dude.
There's no doubt. He was definitely a different dude at that point. You know, not smart to really poke the bear, as Sabonis said. And that's kind of what Nurkic did at that point.
I think it was already building. Because like I said, he hadn't got a couple of calls. And then when you just sprinkle that in, that was just the last ingredient that he needed to really spark what he had going.
No doubt. After 3 quarters, as I said, 11 points. He was 5 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 4 from three-point range, 0-3 for free throw attempts. In that fourth quarter, Fox was unstoppable. 6 of 9 field, made all 3 of his threes, 8 of 10 from the line.
You know, that's the thing, Scott. When D Fox gets that long range going, that's when he's unstoppable. And if he see 1 or 2 3-pointers go down, and he gets that good feeling from behind the arc, man, because you're not going to beat him to the basket. You're not going to stop him from going to the basket. And he likes to get to his spots at that free throw line. So when you have to pick him up at that 3-point line, just pick your poison at that point.
Yeah, forget about it. It's rat poison at that point, too. It's not going to be very tasty. As Frank Vogel put it after the game, and I think he summed up how most coaches in the league feel about it when they're trying to guard De'Aaron Fox. I mean, it's almost a sense of helplessness when you go after him. You know, he goes, he's one of the best in the league in crunch time into the fourth. We also threw a number of different coverages at him, and a lot of times the ball finds him. You know, he's just too good for us. And if it's not him, then it's Sabonis, who they also had a great night. So that's a big reason why they're one of the best teams in the West. We weren't able to slow down the rest of the guys while trying to slow down Fox.
So when you have De'Aaron Fox playing Herculean like that in the fourth quarter, you have Domas being aggressive, going to the basket. That's your 1-2 punch right there. You know, that's good enough to win you a basketball game. But then all of a sudden, the others kick in.
Yeah.
You know, you get Red Velvet, you get Keegan. All right, Harrison Barnes kick in. We know Magnificent Malik Monk comes off the bench. When you get those guys to kick in, Now you have something special. The Kings will be a very hard team to beat.
No doubt. The Kings out rebounded the Suns 50-40. They grabbed 15 offensive rebounds. They were 16-6 in second chance points. They were pretty active.
The one thing that does, kind of like shines a light, Scott, is the points in the paint.
Yep.
I understand the Kings are a 3-point shooting team, but it's been a big disparity of points in the paint when they've been playing against teams that have a big man, because it seems like the opposition really owns the paint down there. And if the Kings aren't knocking down their threes, then it's hard for them to win.
No doubt. And that's a big factor for the Kings any night. And certainly it's a big determinant. And it's sometimes overlooked because the Kings we think about as just being kind of a team that's around the 3-point line and, putting it up with that offensive efficiency. But points in the paint's huge.
Right. I mean, the thing about it is that when they shoot 50% from three, I don't care who they're playing. And I don't care where they're scoring from. 9 times out of 10, the Kings are going to win that game because, they have the shots falling. I'm talking about those nights to where, they're shooting 42% from three and, down in the 40s or sometimes even 30s or sometimes even 20s from three. They can't win that way because they pretty much live and die with a three.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Our Points in the Paint discussion brought to you by RT Painting, your reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. All right, Henry, you like to use 20 games as a barometer.
Right.
So in the presser today, I specifically asked Mike Brown, we just finished up before coming on air here, for the coach to give us his assessment of 20 games with the Kings. I asked him what he thought where the team is at now versus where he thought it would be at the beginning of the year. His word was okay. He thinks it's okay where they're at right now. He compared this year to last year. Last year at this point, they were 11-9. They're 12-8 this year. Last year, they were way healthier than they are this year. So those are a couple of factors going into it. He feels like maybe they should be a couple of games better than they are right now.
I agree with that.
But because of the health, it's been one thing. He feels like the trend is still generally upward. And as long as that's the trend, he can live with that. He didn't feel overall great about it, but he didn't certainly seem negative at all either.
I bet you didn't ask me about that defensive side. I bet you didn't ask me about that.
So what's your assessment, High Flyer? What do you think after 20 games?
I'm all right with it.
Okay.
I'm all right with it. 12-8, Scott, it's not nothing that you look down on. I mean, it's not like they light the fire.
It's a 60% win percentage.
But you can't look down on 12-8. 12-8 is good.
If you took 12-8 out for the rest of the year, it'd put them at 48-32. Right where they're at last year.
Yeah, that still ain't gonna get it for us this year, though. Yep. They definitely have to step it up. But if you think about it like this, if they could have got, let's say, one of the Houston games, right, where they had a clunker. Let's say if they could have got one of the New Orleans games back to back.
How about one of the 3
where they had the clunker? But if they could have got that one here, that would have gave them 3 more games, right? So now we're saying they're 15-5.
5. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Now you're looking like, okay, we're talking about something here. And those are games to where they could have won. They could have won those games. So that's why I say I'm with Mike. It's okay, but it's more so the plus side.
Yeah, okay. Now, obviously, you were talking about defense. Defense, you would say, hasn't been as good as you thought it might be.
No. The Kings came out, and they definitely are trying on the effort side. They did see some success. They were able to get some steals, able to get some deflections. On-ball defense has still been a problem. Pick-and-roll defense has still been a problem. And then off-ball, where guys got to slide and make rotations and be in the right spot at the right time. That's still a problem. So there's still a work in progress on the defensive side of the ball.
One of the big bright spots, and I don't think it's a surprise at all, has obviously been Malik Monk, who's picked up right where he's left off. Now, he was suffering flu-like symptoms. He was listed as questionable, but we were told earlier that he will play tonight.
There he is out there on the floor.
Warming up.
Malik the Magnificent. He has been a huge part. I mean, I know we talk about, De'Aaron the head, Sabonis is the body, he's the engine, he's the motor. But I tell you what, this dude Malik Monk has to be the gas, because when he comes out and he changes the game, Scott, he brings a different energy off the bench. And sometimes when our starters don't have it, Malik Monk is the guy that they look towards to come off the bench and really give them something. And almost every time they have, asked him to give him something extra, he's been there.
Yeah, no, he's been incredible. And, talking about Fox and Sabonis, obviously they're off to great starts. Fox is 4th in the league in scoring. Right now, Sabonis is 4th in the league in rebounding.
Looking good. When you have 2 all-stars on your team and both of those guys are in the top 4 of any category, you have to be happy about that.
Yeah.
So seeing that they're there already, and Mike said they're looking at an upward trajectory, I'm feeling good.
I agree with all of that. Now, I would say the one thing that maybe hasn't been as good yet as I thought it might be, I thought this Kings depth would be showing. I thought the bench would be a little bit stronger than it was last year. To this point, we haven't seen it. Now, obviously, Trey Lyles' injury has been a big part of that. He's still trying to get his footing, I would say, a little bit. We expected a lot from Sasha Vezenkov. We've seen some bright spots. Friday, 14 points in 20 minutes. That was pretty bright. But for the most part, I don't feel like the bench has shown its depth as much as I thought it might.
Not at all. I mean, the one guy that really has solidified the bench has still been Malik Monk. Davion Mitchell is nowhere to be found right now.
Nope.
Keon Ellis, he comes in and gives you yeoman minutes.
Yep.
He runs the offense. He swings the ball. He plays a little defense. He isn't giving you anything special out there, but he's not hurting you either. And like you said, they thought they were going to get a lot more out of Sasha. Sasha is still trying to find his way, still trying to get acclimated to the NBA style. I didn't think it was going to take him this long, but, you really can't put a timetable on, anybody else's game but your own. So we have to still wait to see what he's going to do. And then with the big man, I thought JaVale McGee would be a little more solid than what he's given us, but he has come in to give us some big-time minutes. And then Alex Len has been hurt.
And Duarte, too, has been hurt.
Duarte hasn't come in, and it hasn't been the guy that we thought he was going to be also, but they have been okay. And I think okay might be the word for the next 20 games, Scott. It's like they're okay, but they got to trend higher than okay. They got to get to good.
No doubt. And obviously the same thing for Keegan, and he's been battling that back injury as well. We haven't seen the explosive Keegan quite.
Right. Keegan's been struggling offensively for the whole year. We haven't really seen a breakout game where Keegan has just been shooting the ball nicely. Really the Kings have been shooting the ball just okay. Kevin Huerter has been okay. All right. Harrison Barnes, a little below par, so offensively, I don't think they're at that number 1 spot anymore.
No, I agree with that. Absolutely. So there's still kind of a mixed picture with the Kings, but the overall 12-8, I don't think anybody will feel like it's a bad start for Sacramento. Maybe it hasn't been a great start, but there certainly have been some great things about this Kings team. All right, we'll take the break. We're underway here. It's game night coming to you live from the Golden One Center. When we come back, we'll talk about the Nets a little bit and Ben Simmons. We're not going to see him tonight for Brooklyn. They're playing well without him, but we'll get into that and a lot more. We'll talk about the in-season Cup game, the Lakers, the inaugural Cup champs, and what a night for Anthony Davis on Saturday night. That and a lot more. It's game night coming to you live from Golden One Center right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
5 dealerships, 1 location. The Knight Group is now in Elk Grove with Elk Grove Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Elk Grove Subaru, Acura, Audi, and Volkswagen. If you're searching to service or shop for a new vehicle, Knight has it. Trucks, SUVs, sports cars, hybrids, EVs, you name it, Knight has it. Over 2,000 new and used vehicles to choose from, and the Knight Group makes it easy with expert financing, quick service, and a simple 2-step process to value your trade-in. So start and end your search at KnightHasIt.com. That's KnightHasIt.com.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door. I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family.
Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Welcome back into game night. Coming to you live from the Golden One Center. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer Henry Turner. Kings and Nets tonight. The Kings are 12-8. The Nets are 12-9. This is a team that just won't go away. A team that has lost so much in terms of trades. Not long ago, it was Kyrie, KD, and James Harden. Well, it's nothing like that now. They do have Ben Simmons on their roster, but Ben has not played but a few games for them. He's not playing again tonight. Upper back sprain. He's only appeared in 6 games this season. The nerve impingement in his lower back, and who knows when he'll be back. But Henry, the Nets, they're just survivors. I give them a lot of credit. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. They're above 500. This is a team that everybody pretty much wrote off. No massive stars, but some really good players, and it's a team to contend with.
How about we say this, Scott? The Brooklyn Nets got rid of 3 big-time players, basically Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So what they got in return was a bunch of good guys, guys that are serviceable in this league. So, as far as you say star power, they lost that.
Yep.
But they gained back a bunch of guys that can gel together and play good as a team. That's why they're still being able to win games.
Agree. TNT isn't lining up to put them on Thursday nights, but
no.
Cam Thomas is averaging 24 points a game. Mikal Bridges averaging 23.2, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, those were 2 great pieces that Phoenix would love to have. They had to give up a lot to get KD.
Right. And you didn't even say anything about Spencer Dinwiddie and Royce O'Neal.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are good, serviceable players that they have at their disposal. So, even with Ben Simmons out, they still have guys on that bench that can play NBA basketball.
No question. Cam Johnson, another person who came over from Phoenix, averaging 15 points a game. Nick Claxton is playing well. Dorian Finney-Smith, another one who was part of that trade when Kyrie went to Dallas. So, just all sorts of stuff going on there. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold up for 82 games. And, again, the Ben Simmons thing, it's not as dramatic as it was in Philadelphia. You don't hear a lot of talk about him. He's almost kind of become irrelevant at this point. You know what? It might be one of those things to where they're just going to let him ride out into the night. Because if he's not going to be at your disposal, he's going to always be hurt. You might as well get rid of him and let him go. Yeah. Because it's going to be more of a detriment to your locker room than a positive to just keep trying to bring this guy around and, interject him into the team when he's not going to be here. No question. It's amazing what's happened with Ben Simmons. He was a rising star with Philadelphia. Everything looked great. And then all of a sudden they lost that semifinal playoff round to the Atlanta Hawks. He couldn't make free throws. The Philly fans got on him. And then just everything went sideways mentally, physically, emotionally, in every way possible. Everything that could go wrong with Ben Simmons went wrong. And the way the organization handled it was terrible. Probably the way Ben Simmons handled it was terrible. Yeah. I mean, it was just bad all the way around. And I don't even think this guy has really came back from that yet. Yeah, it's hard to say. And, when it's all said and done, it'll be interesting to hear from Ben Simmons and everybody. They'll definitely do a 30 for 30 on what happened with the Ben Simmons drama right now. He's not playing with the Nets. Game night's being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbfstockton.com. Henry, not sure if you had a chance to see this just yet, but Sham Saremia, of course, one of the great NBA writers, Yahoo, Athletic, had a piece out today on the Kings. And basically it was just saying the Kings are still looking at pieces, notably your man, Pascal
Siakam,
OG Anunoby as well. So we'll see what goes on that front. I don't think that's any mystery. I think we all know that Monty McNair is looking to upgrade the team wherever and whenever he can, but it certainly is a little more weight and heft to it when somebody like Shams is writing about it.
Yeah, and Scott, I think it holds a little bit more weight because everybody thought that the Kings was going to do something last year, and everybody thought that free agency, the Kings were going to make a big splash, and they didn't. All of a sudden, the mantra came up of, okay, we're going to spin the block. We're going to run it back.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to run it back with what we have. Well, they've tried that, and they've been just okay.
Yeah.
So, a GM's job is to make this basketball team better, and then, you have to look out there and say, okay, who's available, and could that guy fit in with what we are doing? And, right now, I think Pascal Siakam probably will fit in with anybody, man. The dude's a true all-star.
Oh, there's no question about that. He'd be a great piece. Part of it is fitting it in with the salary cap, too.
Oh,
Siakam is making $38 million.
I'm like this. We can't cry because if LA can have all four of those guys on one roster, why can't we?
No doubt.
I mean, think about it. Harden, Westbrook.
Yeah, they found the way.
Kawhi and PG.
Mm-hmm.
If they found a way to make that happen, come on, Sack.
We can find a way to make it happen. It'd be interesting if those two were truly the ones being looked at. Anunoby, a little younger, a little more affordable contract. Some people feel as good as Siakam is, Anunoby might be the one you covet a little bit more because of the upside potential.
Now, here's the question. Anunoby is more so a 3. Pascal Siakam is a legitimate 4.
For sure.
So both of those guys play different positions. I really see Pascal Siakam at the stretch 4. He can knock it down from 3.
Yep.
I think both of those guys probably could help this team. But the thing about it is that what do you got to give up to get them? I mean, they're just not going to walk through the door for free. You're going to have to be able to get up off of something.
I don't think there's any doubt that Harrison Barnes would probably be part of the equation, right? He's at $18 million right now, and then it'd be a first-round pick or two. And we know the Kings scenario in terms that they have limited first-round picks, at least in the near-term future. But it's all talk right now. Now, I will say, High Flyer, I'm not starting rumors at all. But as I walked into the Jerry Reynolds press center today, you go by the Doco, went by Starbucks. Monty McNair was out on his cell phone talking outside the Starbucks. So I don't want to start anything. But
that's Bonnie's other office. He's forever outside walking around by Starbucks. I think Monty McNair takes a step out of the arena just to clear his mind.
No doubt.
Be able to, do whatever it is he needs to do, however he needs to facilitate, because he's always outside walking around.
Yeah, no question about it. And obviously he has till late February for the trade deadline to do something. And again, we're only at the 20-game mark, so it'll be interesting to see. I think the X factor right now is the health of the Kings, as Mike Brown discussed. When this team is fully healthy, what is it running at?
Yeah, but we're almost there right now.
Okay.
We have basically all the major parts healthy. The one guy that's not really healthy that was helping us a little bit, I would say probably is Alex Len, at the 5 spot, but he's still a reserve. So when you start talking about your top 5, top 6, top 7, those guys are at your disposal.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, Keegan's been a little bit banged up. We know Fox is at full strength again. Duarte has been nicked here and there. So the key question is, I think the number one thing is, do the Kings have enough inside strength to get it done at a championship level? Because we have seen, especially with the Pelicans, they've been exposed to a little bit.
Well, I think points in the paint has been a big thing for the Sacramento Kings. They have been beat up big time by a couple of teams around in that paint. The Kings are a 3-point shooting team, Scott. They knock it down from 3.
Yeah.
But those nights to where it doesn't fall at a 50% clip, you're down around 38%, and you get just molly-whopped in the paint, you're not going to look pretty good as far as winning.
Well, I'll tell you who got molly-whopped in the paint on Saturday night. That would be the Indiana Pacers in losing to the Lakers in the in-season tournament championship game. The Lakers win 123-109. They had 80-plus points in the paint on Saturday night.
LeBron James looked like he was 26 years old.
Yeah, he did.
You know, Scott, I like what I saw out of LeBron. I mean, I really have to, you know, I'm not a big-time LeBron fan, but I definitely respect his game. I respect what he's done for the game. And it just goes to show whenever he gets locked in and he wants something, he's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Every play-in game, LeBron James came up big time. I've seen some games with LeBron James to sit down and say, okay, we're not going to get it done. But these play-in games, you saw the king every single game, and he came out and he brought it every single minute.
Yep, the Lakers were 7-0 in the play-in tournament, or the in-season tournament, excuse me, not the play-in tournament. That's later in the season. The Lakers as a team are 14-9. So without the in-season tournament, they would be 7-9 right now. We'll get into more of that when we come back. We'll recap that in-season tournament championship game. We'll go around the league as well, get you caught up on all the other news and notes and games going on tonight. Game night being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the Power of Family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. More of Game Night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight. There will be some fog tomorrow morning with temperatures in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will see mostly sunny skies with highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
For today's show and tell, I present my phone. It's made with glass and various metals I can't pronounce. It's powered by Xfinity Mobile, so my family saves big. Take a handout.
Colin, what are these?
I'm quizzing the class on the material.
Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save hundreds a year with the best price for 2 lines of unlimited. Just $30 a line a month. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Unlimited Intro Service and Xfinity Internet required. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you're thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system, now's the perfect time to take action.
It's Bell Brothers' end of the year blowout, and it's happening now. We've got a limited number of high-efficiency furnace, AC, and heat pump systems in our warehouse.
And we're offering $2,750 off qualifying systems if you buy between now and the end of the year.
No gimmicks, no games, just a great price for buying now. If you got a quote elsewhere, we'd be happy to give you a second opinion.
This is one of our best discounts of the year, but you have to hurry. When the systems are gone, the sale is over.
Call Bell Brothers for details and get up to $2,750 off any qualifying high-efficiency furnace, AC, or heat pump system.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside to Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall on with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. Kings and Nets lone appearance of the year for Brooklyn tonight. And we do have a very special friend of ours, a good friend and a fan favorite who plays with the Nets now. I'm talking about Harry Giles, who is warming up on the floor. It's great to see HG20 in the house.
You know what, Scott? Harry Giles is just like Tyrese Halliburton, just like a lot of draft picks that have come through the Sacramento Kings organization, that we're going to always love them, man, because they came here and they embraced Sacramento and they wanted to be here. You know, Harry Giles loved this place.
He did.
You know, his mom loved it. He was always engaged with the fans, always interacted with the city. So, you know, I will always root for Harry Giles.
Yeah, he had a special connection, you know, and he had some good games with the Kings, but obviously he was never a star here or anything like that. But for some reason, fans just loved him.
You know, Scott, you don't have to be a star here for these fans to recognize who you are as a person and what you bring to this basketball team, and, you know, how much of, you know, your grit, your grind, your heart, your blood, your sweat, your tears that you put out there on the floor. They can see that through your game.
No doubt. He's out there working with the bands, getting warmed up. And as we've always said, when a former player comes back to take on his former team, it has special meaning. Harry's not playing a lot, but he's just one of those guys you don't want to take for granted tonight.
Because
no pun intended.
Because he's one of those guys who can get it going.
Yep.
You know, we've seen Harry have good games. You know, it means nothing that, okay, he's not getting many minutes. You know, every player, when you come back to your old team, you definitely want to give something a little bit extra out there. I don't care how much you like the squad, you still want to put up a good performance on the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. He tweeted out yesterday, Harry did, back in G1C tomorrow. I've been manifesting this moment for a long time, ! Can't wait to see royalty, ! 916, it's up tomorrow. Come see me. And hashtag Purple Heart.
Like I said, he likes the city, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he wore purple well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I will always wish Harry Giles the best.
He'll get a nice ovation. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
Speaking of the purple and yellow, the Lakers, going back to that conversation, a dominant win on Saturday night in the in-season championship game. The Lakers beat the Pacers 123-109. As we said, they beat them up inside, 80-plus points in the paint. We talked about LeBron. He got the in-season tournament MVP award, and he deserved it, no doubt about it. He had 24 points in the championship game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. But Anthony Davis, you talk about a guy who showed up and shelled out on Saturday night. AD had one of those historic games. It won't count because it's game 83. That game doesn't count for any regular season stats. If it did, it'd be historic, Wilt-like, Elgin Baylor-like. He was one of 3 Lakers to go for 40, 20, and 5. He had 41 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 block shots in that championship game.
I mean, Scott, that just goes to show what this young man is capable of. Okay, you don't expect him to go out and get those type of numbers every night, but you do expect a talent of ADs to come out and give you 25 and 12 every night. So, you know, anything under that really should be unacceptable for a talent as Anthony Davis.
No question. And he played 41 minutes in that game too.
Right. You know, just straight dominated the game. So, AD, we see you can do it, but can you bring it tomorrow and the next day? How consistent can you be?
No doubt. That's the question with AD. It's the question with Zion Williamson too. The Lakers absolutely routed the Pelicans, won by 40-plus on Thursday night. You know, Barkley and Shaq went after Zion afterwards and said, 1, he's not in shape. 2, he doesn't post up enough. 3, he's not a team leader. 4, he simply does not work hard enough out there. I mean, they said he should be by far the best player on that Pelicans team, maybe one of the best players in the league, as it is, he might be the fourth best player right now. We've seen the Pelicans 3 times. Obviously, Zion's been pretty good against the Kings. Do you buy into that?
You know why he's good against the Kings? Kings' interior defense is a little bit smaller than what the LA Lakers have going.
Yeah.
They had LeBron.
Yeah.
On Zion. So, and then you got AD is meeting him at the rim. So LeBron was taking body shots from Zion, and he was playing very smart. He played off of Zion, invited Zion to take the jump shot. If Zion can't get to the basket and gets his left hand, he's basically stoppable then.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how they did it.
Yeah. Did he look in shape to you when we saw him here in Sacramento?
No, he looked better in New Orleans. But, I mean, he sliced through us like hot butter.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. I mean, we talked about it.
Yeah, no, he looked like
he just
absolute all-star.
He just straight steamrolled Trey Lyles and got to the basket whenever he wanted to. So, it's one of those things to where LeBron put up a little bit more resistance, and then he had a little bit more resistance around the rim with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, the Lakers are going to hang that banner for the NBA Cup win. Any surprise with that at all?
I hate that.
You don't want to see that hanging from Crypto.com?
Hell no. I mean, think about it is that I knew LeBron was going for that.
Yeah.
Because it was something that he hadn't had, right?
Nope.
And more so, it's something that all the other greats that are in the conversation with him don't have.
Right.
So the one thing LeBron could say he has that Michael Jordan don't have. Larry Bird don't have this. Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
And you can go on and on. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. They don't have this. But I got the first one.
Yep.
Something to be said for that.
There is something to be said for that. And again, not to get into the debate of who's the greatest of all time. We could spend hours on that and get nowhere with it. But I do feel like the one thing that almost is becoming inarguable is that the body of work of LeBron over his entire career is second to none.
Second to none. Numero uno. The way that he came into this league as a young buck and now the way he's playing as an old man is Herculean. I mean, he keeps his body in great shape. He's still able to explode and get to the rim whenever he wants. So his game hasn't really changed.
Not at all. And we know that the end is closer, is nearer versus farther away, but he's showing no signs right now of that day coming anytime soon. All right, let's go around the league. Other games going on. The Pacers are back in action tonight. They're beating the hapless Pistons 123-112. The Pistons, if they lose tonight, they will have lost 20.
Woo. The Pistons are having a hard go at it right now.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
I mean, a real tough go at it. And at the end of the day, they got a lot of young players, man. But, hey, you got to keep chipping. You got to keep going.
Got to find a way to persevere through it. But, boy, it is tough sledding in Motown right now. Magic blowing out the Cavs. This Magic team continues to be the talk of the league. The most upstart team in the NBA right now, 15-7. They're 10-2 at home. They're beating very good teams right now.
Hey, J Kidd figured it out, huh? The Luka Kyrie saga has been fulfilled. Those guys are playing good basketball.
Magic, sorry.
Orlando Magic.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Dallas.
Now,
the Mavs are playing good, too. We'll get to them, yes.
Oh, no. Orlando was there last year, Scott. Okay. Orlando was definitely there last year. We saw reminiscences of those young guys. Paolo Banchero is just coming back his second year. Seemed like he hasn't even taken a year off. He just stepped right back on the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. They're 15-7. Now let's talk Mavs because you're right on board with them, too. They're 13-8. They're blowing out the Grizz 67-51. Luka's got 23. He's back. Congratulations to him. Him and his fiancée had their first child. And the Mavs have put it together. And you're right with J Kidd.
Yeah, they figured it out. I mean, he told me early on. He was like, I'm going to find it. And I guess he has because they're playing good basketball. And then when you have two killers of that magnitude, man, all you got to do is get the complementary guys together and you can win some games.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, the Grizz are in game 22 right now, which means in 4 games' time, they're going to have Ja back. So Adam Silver plans to meet with Ja before his return, and the quote was, "We'll talk." What's that conversation going to be all about? I'd like to be a fly in that room.
Have you learned your lesson, buddy?
Yeah.
Because if not, you can stay on the sideline.
It's now or never for you.
And you can watch your team just struggle mightily.
Yeah.
But, if Ja don't get it, Scott, because, I was watching ESPN and they were having a debate about this.
Yeah.
LeBron James is still the face of the NBA. Who is going to be that next face? Bronny could be gone next year, really.
True.
So who is going to be the next face? Who is going to be that guy? And they were really pushing Ja to be that guy. He better understand he's got a lot at stake.
So much at stake. Not just millions and millions of dollars, but obviously the league counting on him, all the endorsement opportunities that he could have, everything else. I mean, the world literally is his oyster if he doesn't throw it away.
I mean, think about it. You can be the face of the NBA. Now, you talk about doing something that not too many people have done. If you can be the face of the NBA, man, come on, that's big time.
That's as good as it gets. All right, 76ers blowing out another hapless team in the Wizards. They're 3-18, going to 3-19. Embiid 34-10-6.
Oof.
Nuggets all over the Hawks, 91-71. Jamal Murray is back for Denver. Obviously, that makes them an entirely different team.
Oh, no doubt. That gives them that 1-2 monster punch. I think Denver is still a good team without him, but they're dangerous with him.
They're a championship team with Jamal Murray. Raptors and Knicks tied at 85 right now. Rockets at the half leading the Spurs. All right, let's talk about the Rockets a little bit. They're 10-9 overall. Obviously, they're off to a nice start. 9 of their wins have come at home. They are 1-9 on the road.
Ooh, wow. I didn't know they was rolling like that.
Yeah, they've been real Jekyll and Hyde.
I honestly thought that they played very well. We only seen them at their place.
Right.
And they played us great.
They did.
Really came out. Bunch of young players, hungry, played hard, played scrappy, and was able to win some games. And, not just beating us up, they beat up some other good teams. So that just goes to show that, they can get it done.
They definitely can when they want to. Bucks leading the Bulls 74-65. How about this? Pelicans at the half leading the Timberwolves 59-52. Zion has 15 in that one. As we know, the Timberwolves, the best record in the Western Conference, they are 17-4 right now, High Flyer.
Who would ever thought that the T-Wolves would have bounced back just that fast? I mean, things can change so quickly in the NBA. You just never know when it's going to come or when guys are going to start clicking together.
No doubt. Thunder, who will be here on Thursday, they're leading the Jazz at the half 66-52. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has 15 points. That'll be a fun game here on Thursday. And the Kings' next opponent, the Clippers, they're at home tonight, so they'll be in a back-to-back situation, although it'll be a home-and-home back-to-back for them. They host the Trailblazers tonight.
I mean, Scott, the West is so good,
It
bro.
is.
Who in the West is under 500? What's going on here?
I tell you, man. Well, the Blazers are 6-15, but they're still a competitive team. I mean, there's no chopped liver right now in the Western Conference.
I mean, everybody is playing good basketball.
They are. It makes it a lot of fun. But we've got a good Eastern Conference team in tonight in the Nets. When we come back, we'll focus in Kings and Nets. Coming to you from the Golden One Center. More of Game Night right here. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now is the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblet. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. $16,500 total net savings after 10-261 factory rebates and 6-239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699-991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash unless you purchase qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible First Responder Association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. $5,500 total net savings after 2,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with $3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Ally Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 each net savings.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice. Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com.
Wrapping things up here on game night. Sactown Sports 1140 coming to you live from the Golden One Center. Scott Marsh with the High Flyer, Henry Turner coming up. It'll be Kings Live pregame. That takes over at the bottom of the hour. Jason Ross with the High Flyer for that. The G-Man will be here as well. Gary will have the call of the game tonight. 7 o'clock tip between the Kings and the Nets. First of two this year between these two teams. As we said, the Kings are 12-8. They're currently in 6th place in the Western Conference. That would put them in a playoff spot. The Nets are 12-9. They're tied for 7th in the East. That would put them in the play-in situation. Tonight, again, a Nets team that's putting up a lot of points. And the Nets are in some ways like the Kings were last year in the sense that they are the best three-point shooting team in the league right now. They get it going from beyond the arc. They have found their groove. They've won 6 of their last 7. They've won 3 in a row, Henry.
I mean, they got some guys who can knock it down. Mikal Bridges ain't a big three-point guy, but he can definitely light it up from 3. Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas can hit. Spencer Dinwiddie's a walking bucket. Royce O'Neal, Dennis Smith Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith was lighting it up for Dallas. He moved over to Brooklyn. So they got at least 5 to 6 guys that are sharpshooters from 3.
When it's all said and done, when we look back on that trade for KD, and let's just say in 5 years' time, and we know KD is still one of the very best players on earth, and the Suns could go on and win a championship this year. And if they do so, then they'll be vindicated. But they gave up a ton.
A lot.
They did. And Mikal Bridges is an all-star caliber player. Cam Johnson is certainly, as you mentioned, a sharpshooter. They gave up a ton of number 1 picks.
Mm-hmm.
As you evaluate it right now, was it a good trade for both teams? Did one team get the better of the other?
That's very hard.
I know it is. It is. You need time to reflect on it. Is it a deal that you would have made if you were in Phoenix's chair last year?
Oh, of course. If you're Phoenix, yes.
Yeah.
Because, KD is a once-in-a-generational lifetime player. You have to give up whatever you have to give up to get him if he's available. Now, if you're Brooklyn, do you think Brooklyn got enough for him? I don't think so, man, because you can't replace guys like that.
No.
You really can't. And then you look at, they gave up him, they gave up Kyrie, and they gave up James Harden. They gave up a lot off of one basketball team.
They did. They were, again, the length of KD's right sneaker about an inch from going to the NBA Finals and beating the Bucks in that semifinal round a couple of years ago.
One big toe on the three-point line. If they would have called that, yes, they would have been there.
No doubt. And if you say the NBA is not a game of inches, you don't watch enough NBA basketball. Speaking of the Suns, Bradley Beal expected to return against Golden State tomorrow night. So finally, Beal will be back, but KD is still suffering from the ankle injury. So who knows if we're going to see the big 3 still.
Are you going to ever see those guys on the floor together? Scott, it's easy if you have enough money to go out and get a bunch of big-time players, but you have nothing to say or no amount of money that you put out there is going to make sure these guys are going to be at your disposal when it comes down to health.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the equation with KD because obviously health has been a big issue of his. I mean, I'm even going past the Achilles. He's fully back from that, but he just hasn't been able to stay on the court for, many games. He's almost been an Anthony Davis in some respects.
And, they ride him so hard. I mean, think about it. Bradley Beal has been out forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Book went down,
right?
I mean, they rode KD like a penny mule, bro.
Yeah, they did.
Everything went through KD, and other teams knew that all they had to do was, lean on KD a little bit. And it's not like KD has a LeBron body. Okay.
No.
Let's put that out there. So it took a lot. So for KD to be hurt, I understand because they linked on him a lot.
Yep, no doubt. They are riding him hard. All right, for the Nets tonight, when you look at some of the matchups, and obviously Spencer Dinwiddie deserves attention as well. This is a team that's got a lot of players in that 6'4" to 6'8" range. They're interchangeable. How do you go about defending this team tonight, knowing they shoot so many threes?
Well, I think the Kings have to do the exact same thing that teams do to them, because a lot of these guys are, that 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" height range, to where they're going to be able to switch everything. But the Kings are going to have to be very aggressive on the ball, because when you do switch, Scott, every last one of those guys are adept to play one-on-one, and they can get the ball up outside the three-point line very easily.
Yeah, they can indeed. And so the Nets will present a lot of challenges, no doubt. It's interesting for Sacramento. They're going to play 7 of their next 8 here at Golden One Center. The only exception is tomorrow night's game in L.A. Do you have a feeling in terms of number of wins in your mind that the Kings need to get in this stretch to take advantage of the homestand?
Scooter, I want this team to get to where Mike Brown wants them to be, and that's dominant on this home floor. If the Kings can get, you say they have 7 here?
Yeah, 7 of the next 8.
If the Kings can go 5-2, that would be great. I'm just going to throw that number out. I don't care who they beat. If at the end of the 7-game home roadie, if they can get 7-2, it's good.
Okay, so yeah.
5-2 is good.
Okay, so it starts tonight with the Nets. They go to Clips tomorrow. Then they have Oklahoma City at home, Utah, the Wizards, Celtics, Suns, and Timberwolves. That's the look.
I don't care who it is.
Okay.
Whoever they play. In this building, they need to be dominant. They need to go 5-2.
Yep. Well, the Kings certainly have a great chance of doing that. As we said, they're 12-8 overall. They've actually been a pretty good home team this year. Last year was the challenge, right? They were an excellent road team, but they didn't necessarily defend home court as well as they should have.
Right. They played great basketball on the road. And in here in G1 was kind of like, hit and miss. But Mike Brown wants to change that.
Yeah, they do. So right now, they're 6-5 on the road, which is very respectable. They're 4-3 at home, which obviously needs to be increased. And they're going to get an opportunity to do that here in the remaining month of December. All right, High Flyer, that's going to do it for game night. As always, great to work with you. We'll be seeing a lot of each other for the next couple of weeks. That'll be a good thing as well. And have a great call tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up next, it will be Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross is ready to take over in this seat. High Flyer stays. G-Man will join as well. They'll take you up until tip-off. 7 o'clock tip tonight, Kings and Nets, the only appearance of Brooklyn in our capital city. The G-Man will have the call. We'll have all the action here, so keep it tuned all evening long. Kings basketball coming your way right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Have a great night, everyone.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight. There will be some fog tomorrow morning with temperatures in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will see mostly sunny.